Hello, bookish friends of the internet. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Drew, and this is Drew's Ambitious Reading. And for today's video, today is going to be my part 2, kind of part 3 to my December TBR. You guys know I'm very ambitious this month. I thought this will be a fun video to do for you guys. I actually have a video idea that is similar to this that you guys will see later on for Bookmas, but I thought it would be fun to show you all the duologies that I have on my shelf, and I am going to be partaking in December duology. This is starting as like a new thing. I think Allison said she started this last year, so it's still very brand new. But she is doing December duology, where you just focus on all your duologies that you own and that you either want to read or haven't read yet. There's one book that I don't know what I did with the first book, but I'm gonna save that for later. I have 2 stacks here. One is all the sequels in the duology that I need to read still, and then the others are first book in a series that I still need to read. So without further ado, let's just jump into this, and I hope you enjoy this video. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me every single day in the month of December. Grab some snacks, some drinks, and let's just jump into this video, shall we? So, starting off with my sequels, I don't have to read all of these in December, but I would like to get a majority of these wrapped up, since they are duologies. But the first one I have is one that came out this year, and that is Ashes of Gold by J.L. This is the second and final book in this duology. I'm not going to repeat myself by saying that because these are all my sequels that I need to read. I read Wings of Ebony earlier this year and really loved it. I think I gave it like 4 or 5 stars. I can't remember exactly, but I really enjoyed reading it. It was like a fun mythology type of book dealing with black main characters in here, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was LGBT characters in here as well, but again, I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've been in this world. But I really want to get back into this world because I really enjoyed book 1. It was super fun and fast paced. And like I said, I really enjoyed it, the first one, so I'm hoping I will love the second one. And if I do, I would complete another series because that is my main focus for December, is wrapping up as many series as I can. And hopefully this little video of me showing you all the sequels that I have would help me. So yes, this is all my TBR for December. Another sequel I have, I'm not going to say that because I'm going to repeat myself throughout the video, is Master of Iron by Teresa Levenseller. I am so nervous and excited for this one as well, because this is not only finale of a series, but I absolutely loved Blade of Secrets. Blade of Secrets was a 5-star read for me. I actually buddy read that with my friend Charlie. She is the Bookish Fox here on Bookstagram, so I cannot wait to read this. I know Charlie already read this and she absolutely loved it. She says she gave it 5 stars, and there's a huge topic of like the character's mental health in here, so I'm excited to see what that's all about. And I just know I'm gonna love this because it's Teresa Levenseller and I've loved everything I've read by her. I still need to read her YA standalone Warrior of the Wild by her, but I've read almost everything else besides these 2 books, so I'm hoping this one will be a good read, and I'm hoping I don't cry in this finale. Next I have is Rise Up from the Embers by Sarah Rosh and Kirsten Simon. Don't remember too much about this one either. I've read Set Fire to the Gods with my friend Lori, and every time we keep talking about this book, me and Lori, we're like, oh, we still need to read the sequel. So Lori, I'm calling you out right now. I'm calling me out too. But this is a sequel that we've both been dying to read, and I just really want to see what happens in here. And hopefully my characters that I love don't die. And another story about Greek mythology. So, and actually, if you love like Avatar, The Last Airbender, and what else has this been compared to? Sorry, I'm reading them back to remind myself. But if you love Avatar, The Last Airbender, I think you will really love this series. And it's like a one and done deal. So we love that. Next is one that I actually started in October, but I never finished it for some reason. I think it's because I was waiting for my audiobook to come back, and that is The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. You guys know I recently, literally like as of 2 months ago, read Six Crimson Cranes and I absolutely loved it. Gave it 4 stars. It was such a fun read, and I actually got quite far in this one before my audiobook was due. I'm literally on page 180, so I could finish this one up in December because I do have my audiobook back, but I just haven't been in the mood to pick this one up yet, or pick this one back up, I should say. But this is definitely like my top priority for completing a duology this month, is to complete this one the most, because I really enjoyed book 1 and I'm excited to see what happens at the end of book 2. Next book is a new release that just came out in October, so I'm giving myself a little leeway here. And that is The Empress of Time by Kylie Lee Baker. Again, I've been talking about the series non-stop on my channel because I loved book 1. I've read book 1 from Y'all West when I went to go to Y'all West, so I'll leave my Y'all West vlogs up above or down below. But I overall really enjoyed book 1. Again, it was a 4 or 5 stars. It was definitely a very different type of book to read, but also set in like a fantasy world in Japan, I believe. So I never read a book that was set in Japan before The Keeper Night. So I'm very nervous for this one, and hopefully I'll love it as much as I loved book 1. Next one is one of my oldest duologies that I own on my shelf. I read book 1 multiple times, so I'm not going to reread book 1. I'm just going to jump into The Crown's Fate by Evelyn Skye. I absolutely, again, loved book 1. I don't know why I have not read book 2 yet. This is definitely one of my oldest books I've read, or not read, but like oldest book I've owned on my TBR for the longest. I bought this book when I was with my friend Taylor. I don't remember if I put it in a reading vlog at all, but I just remember buying this with my friend Taylor, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna read this the instant I get it, and I haven't yet, and I don't know why. So maybe I'll watch some book reviews of book 1 because I don't want to reread book 1 because I've read it like twice now. But yeah, I'm hoping with this video it'll give me motivation to pick up the sequel. Now this next one I'm hoping will be off my list by the end of December, because my friend Sydney is reading book 1 currently, and that is When Night Breaks by Janella Angels. I'm sorry. I read book 1 for Season-a-thon and I really wasn't a huge fan of it. I gave it like 3 stars. It's actually like a low rating for that book. It just felt too much like Caraval to me, and I loved the Caraval series more than this series, but since it's only a duology, I wanted to see how this would wrap up. Plus Owl Crate had a matching set to book 1, so I was like, might as well get book 2 since we read it and didn't really love it, but these covers are just stunning to not have on our shelf. So I'm gonna be buddy reading this with my friend Sydney this month, and hopefully we both love this one because, like I said, I give book 1 3 stars. Next is another sequel, obviously, and that is A Solemn Storm and Silence by Roseanne A. Brown. This is another sequel that I was really excited for. I read book 1 via library copy, and then I bought book 1. It's actually on my shelf right over here. You can't really see it, but it's on my shelf, and I've really enjoyed it. I gave that one 5 stars. There's very few books that will get 5 stars, but this one for some reason just ended up being a 5-star read for me, so I'm excited for the sequel. And this is definitely another like top priority duology that I want to wrap up in December. This one, I know I said The Crown's Fate was my oldest sequel on my TBR, but I think this is my second oldest, and that is Queen of Ruin by Tracy Banghart. I read Grace and Fury by this author the year it came out because it came in my Owl Crate box one year. I never heard anything about it, never knew what it was about. I didn't really know too much about it until I read like the summary and the author letter, and it sounded really good, so I picked it up and I really enjoyed it, and ever since then I haven't picked up the sequel yet. This has been out since like 2019, maybe even older than that. Let's see. Can I get to the copyright page? Yeah, 2019. Wow, I was right on. So yeah, this has been on my shelf since 2019, and you'll see this at like my New Year's resolution goals video that I have planned. That if I don't read books from 2019 and 2020 by the end of 2023, they are gonna get unhauled, and I've been getting better at unhauling books. But again, one of my oldest series, so I might have to reread book one because I really don't remember much about book one, but except like the ending had a huge cliffhanger. So I'm definitely going to reread book one, and then I'm going to pick up the sequel. Next is All the Tides of Fate by Adeline Grace. This is the finale to this duology. Again, I really loved book one. I buddy read this with Sydney, and I really enjoyed it. And I think Sydney also enjoyed book one, so I cannot wait to read the sequel. I have the sequel on my shelf. I think this one just came out last year. Yeah, because Belladonna came out this year, so yeah, came out in 2021, and I had this sitting on my shelf since then. So I'm ready to buddy read this whenever you are, and I cannot wait to see what happens in here. Again, I might have to reread book one just because it's been a while since I read book one, but I think it was like a dark Little Mermaid retelling or whatnot, but it was just so fun and exciting, and I can't wait to get back into this one as well. My final sequel here that I have to show for you guys is We Free the Stars by Hafsa Velazquez. I'm so sorry for butchering that. This is a book that I actually know for sure that I put this in a reading vlog. I bought this with my friend Taylor. You guys know and love her on this channel. I've bought this at one of the book shopping vlogs, so I'll leave up above or down below. But I really was super excited. I think I got this the day of release, if I remember correctly. But it's such a chunky book. Like, I have book one on my first book in a duology stack here, so I'm gonna reread book one because I read it the year it came out and I absolutely enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm like, what is that? Anyways, it's such a chunky book, and it's only a duology, and I loved book one. So I think I read book one like early pandemic days, if you remember what those are. And I was just waiting for the sequel to come out, and it's finally out, and I have it in my hands. And again, I just can't wait to get back into the series and hopefully wrap this one up this month. Now onto the bigger stack of books that I have. These are first book in a duology. One of them is actually one I'm going to read next after reading my current read, and that is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. Book 2 just came out. Well, for some people it just came out this month, and some people it will come out on December 6th, because book 2, A Fire Endless, is a book of the month selection, and I was able to get that from book of the month. So I am very excited to binge read this duology, and hopefully I will love it a whole lot. Because I haven't read anything by Rebecca Ross yet, so I'm excited and nervous about that. But this just sounds like a good, fun adult fantasy journey. So yeah, I'm excited, and I cannot wait to see the matching covers for book 1 and book 2. Next is one that I've been meaning to read for forever, ever since it came out, but every time I ask someone to buddy read it, they always read it ahead of me. And that is All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. This is a first book in the duology. Obviously, I have book 2 on my shelf, and I almost put book 2 in the stack, but I haven't read book 1 yet, so I wanted to read this. And I hear this is like the Hunger Games, but darker, so I'm excited to see what that's all about. And I love Amanda Foody's writing. I never read anything by Christine Lynn Herman, but I know I love Amanda Foody's writing. And I actually won book 2 in a giveaway from Goodreads when I was entering those Goodreads giveaway. So again, I should just be able to binge read this one this month since I own book 1 and 2. So hopefully I'll love these, and I know these are very fun, fast-paced books as well. Next is again, one of my older books on my shelf, and I'm actually buddy reading this one with my friend Taylor either this month or in January. I can't remember when we said we're reading this one, but that is Wicked Fox by Kat Cho. I gave my paperback copy of Wicked Fox that I had from Penguin Teen when they sent it to me my way. and I was like, I already have the hardcover, and I didn't realize that this would be in that mystery box. So I gave my paperback copy to my friend Taylor, so my friend Taylor and I are gonna buddy read this one. Again, this is a duology that is already completed. I just don't own book 2, and as you can tell, I got book 1 from Book of the Month when they did YA books, and this came out in 2019. So again, this is one of those books where if I don't read it by the end of 2023, this will get unhauled at the end of the year, or sometimes throughout the year. So I'm hoping I buddy read this soon, because I feel like this will be a great book to buddy read with someone. Next is another first book in a series, and that is Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen. I know book 2 just, look how glowy I am. I know book 2 just came out this year, so again, if I wanted to, I can binge read this one. I know my library has it, so I'm hoping I can place a hold on it and then pick it up sometime soon. This is a stunning edition of the book. I got this through my Owl Crate, and this is also on my 5-star prediction list, so hopefully I will love this. And I know currently I have the audiobook checked out from my Libby account, so hopefully future me would pick this up in December and start it. Next is another Owl Crate book, and that is Lake's Edge by Lindell Clipstone. This sounds like a perfect book for the fall/winter time. I think it's like a dark Beauty and the Beast retelling, maybe. The back says, there are monsters in the world, there are monsters in the woods, there are monsters in the shadow, and now it knows my name. Like, doesn't that not sound good? It sounds amazing to me. Again, I own book 1 through Owl Crate, or no, I own book 2 through Owl Crate, and I can just binge read this duology this month if I wanted to. So hopefully, again, future me would pick this up. Next I have is The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. I know my friend Taylor and I are huge Melissa De La Cruz fan, and we cannot wait to read this one. And we don't know when we're reading this one exactly, but I do own book 2 as well. I just forgot to grab it, but I can't wait to read this. I loved everything that I read by Melissa De La Cruz, and I cannot wait to see what happens in this one. I was actually in the same room as Melissa De La Cruz at YALWES, which was very exciting. Again, my vlogs would be linked up above or down below, but don't know too much about this, except it's like one of my newest books that I got, so very curious to see what this duology is all about. Next I have is Gilded by Marissa Meyer. Book 2 of this duology just came out this month, and I'm so excited to see what happens in this one. I believe this is like a Rapunzel retelling, if I remember correctly. I am definitely in the mood to read this one, though, because I'm going to be reading it for Tome Topple next week, which, spoiler alert for my Tome Topple TBR. I'm super excited to get to this just because it is a Rapunzel retelling, and I love Marissa Meyer. She's like an auto-buy author for me, so I'm excited to see what happens in this duology. Next I have is Sisters of the Snakes by Sasha and Serena Nanu. I'm so sorry if I butcher your last name. This is a beautiful edition I got from Owl Crate, and again, don't know too much about it, except it's about sisters and royalty, so that's all I know about it. Next one I have is a reread for me, and I mentioned this one earlier, so I won't talk too much about it, but that is We Hunt the Flames by Hafsa Thalazieh. We'll see if that stacks days. Next up is another book I have from Owl Crate, and that is Witches Steeped in Gold. Yeah, Witches Steeped in Gold by Cinnamon Smart. Again, I own book 2. I got book 2 as a birthday gift from a friend of mine here on Instagram and on book 2. But yeah, it's chunky, I'm nervous, and I hear mixed things about this one because I hear it's a little bit confusing. So this is a series I would like to start this year. If not, I'll save it for next year. Will that stay? Oh! Next The second to final book in this duology December TBR that I have is Blood Like Magic by Leslie Sambury. Again, book 2 is out already, and I just don't own book 2, but I bought this at Barnes & Noble last year, and I really loved the back of this book. And Aiden Thomas, sorry, blurbed this book, and they really loved it, so I'm excited to see what this is about. And I know this is set at a boarding school, and I've also put this in my December TBR, so you guys already know what this one is gonna be about. Should I? No, it's gonna fall. Hold on. It's staying. I'll show you guys in a minute if it stays. And the final book of this December duology TBR video I have is These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. I am nervous for this one because I never read anything by Lexi Ryan. I got this through Beacon Book Box back when they were a thing. So again, if I love this one, I can pick up book 2, and I hear nothing but amazing things about this duology. So I know it's like, if you love Throne of Glass, you will really love this. So that's very high praise, and I'm very excited and eager to get to this one the most. So yeah, this one came out last year, and I'm hoping I can get to it sometimes this month. If not, I'll just save it for next year whenever I get my hands on the sequel. Ooh. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is these huge stack of books that I made while filming this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any of these sequels / first book in a series of duologies that you would like to buddy read with me, please let me know down below, as I will always love to buddy read. And yeah, this is just a fun little video for Bookmas, and a fun video for future me to come back to and be like, did I read this? Did I read that? So let me know which of these I should start, and I'm gonna let this bio fall now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've already did my outro earlier, so don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and turn your notification on so you don't miss any new videos coming from me every single day of the month. And I'll chat with you guys down below. Bye.